Hey guys, welcome back to Belky's Twist. Today I am making this video for you about how I started my food blog and how I started the YouTube channel, because the other video that I have going on how I shoot my recipes or my food videos is doing so well that I thought I must share how I started the blog, how I started the YouTube channel, and how I make it all work and come together and look the way that it looks. One of the things that I want to start off with is telling you why I started the food blog to begin with. And many of you might know, but for those who don't, I have a child with a disability, and that made me have to stay home. And then I started cooking a lot more, learning how to make things that I never made before, and that kind of got me going and got super excited. And then I started sharing recipes with my family and friends. They began asking me, oh, where can I get that recipe? Can you write it down for me? And eventually I started a website, a Wix website. And also I started like my own little Facebook and IG, but it was really just for fun, not to make money. Eventually it started, getting where I'm like, you know what, I should probably make this into a business because I'm home and, just taking my son to therapies and things like that. I might as well just do something with this because I was enjoying and loving cooking so much that I decided, let's make this a business. Now, one of the things that I didn't know that I think is super important for you to know is the website situation. When I started it for fun, I was with Wix. So I built my own really cute website on Wix and everything. Then I was making it even better and better as I learned how to edit the themes and stuff that Wix had. And then when I decided I was going to make this a business for myself, I began to then, I bought a camera, I started taking better pictures, all of that. And, here I go. I think I'm building this brand and I'm doing great. And then I realized when I went to the Everything Food Conference in Utah, it's all for food bloggers, a conference for food bloggers. I learned that on a Wix website, I was never going to be able to monetize my website. So again, you see the ads on the bloggers' websites when you go to get a recipe, those little ads that pop up mean that they're monetizing the website. That means they have a certain amount of sessions per month that the ad companies require, so that then they place these ads there and you make money. It's kind of like YouTube in a way that you need a certain amount of sessions or hits or hours. Now, you can make really good money there. So that is one of the reasons why I really encourage you, if you're gonna have a YouTube channel and you're gonna have recipes, obviously you're gonna monetize with YouTube at some point, but that's 4,000 hours. That's a lot. With going on a website and trying to build a following there, you're probably going to make money quicker than you would on YouTube unless you engage that person on that video from beginning to end. So therefore, that was one of the things that I did not know, and I was so mad because I lost months and months of work because I did not know this information. So one of those conferences are actually really good ones to attend if you can afford to do so. I will link all these things to a PDF that I'm going to send you to when I'm done, and I'm actually going to put the link in the description so that you can just go ahead and get all the links to everything that I talk about. So that's one thing. Make sure you get a WordPress.org site. .org, not .com, .org. With .org, you actually end up having like a second layer where it's really hard to explain, and I'm not a techie, but you sign up for WordPress.org and then you have to get a theme, I guess a child theme, and they have themes there for food bloggers that are already set, and then all you have to do is plug in your information, make it your own. In my case, because I had a Wix site and I was super overwhelmed moving it to WordPress, I hired someone to do it for me, and I will send you the links to that as well, because I think it's important, like, to do a really good job. You want to come out of the gate as professional as you can, so therefore don't just look at it as an investment. You're investing in your brand and what you want to build. You want people to come to you at the very beginning and be like, oh my God, I love that website, I love what they're doing. So just don't do anything unless you're going to do it and it's going to look really good. So I'll give you links to everything, as I said. Now, one of the things that is important and that I also learned at the conference is that you should really pick a niche. What is a niche? A niche is maybe a type of cuisine that you do. In my case, I'm a good cook with a lot of food. So it was super difficult for me because I'm like, why do I have to pick a niche? I don't want to pick a niche. And I realized quickly that if I'm this Latina girl, right, this Latina woman, why would you come to me for Japanese recipes or, Italian recipes? Even though I make a really mean meatball, it's a really good meatball, it is very, very important for me to have something that is mine. And I went with a niche of Latin and Latin fusion, and a lot of my Latin recipes are Dominican recipes because my parents are Dominican and I was born in the US but raised between the two countries, and I learned to cook in Dominican Republic. So my recipes are super, super Dominican authentic. So that is my niche. So most of what you'll see on my website, every once in a while I'll throw in something that's a little deviated from that, but you're gonna see that I'm always choosing something that's Latin inspired, or a typical dish from my parents' country. So that's something to very, very much understand. I'm actually looking at my notes because I want to make sure I don't forget anything. I'm actually, the themes that I was telling you about, there's other companies also aside from WordPress.org that have baby themes that you put in. And my theme is not from WordPress.org. It's from another company called Restored 316. And they have more of like women type themes. And I love it because they're like pinkish and they're just really soft and beautiful. So just go ahead, look for themes. Some are super cheap and some are more expensive. Mine was, I think, $75. But there's some that are $35, $20. And like I said, WordPress.org, you can get some for free when you buy your website from them. Let's see. How often do I post on YouTube, IG, Facebook, Pinterest? Now, Pinterest, especially if you have a website, is going to be huge for you because a lot of my traffic, for example, about 76% comes from Pinterest. I don't know why, but it all comes from Pinterest pretty much, and then Google search. So you want to optimize your posts in your website. That means search engine optimization. So you're going to have tags and all those things. And you can learn all of this on courses online and on YouTube. And also you can join some groups. And there's courses like I'm part of Food Blogger Pro, and it's like you join the community, there's all these classes and you learn everything from there. You can make monthly payments to be part of it, or you can just buy a year, and it is amazing how much you learn and how much you can do all on your own. And believe it or not, if this is something that you love, you're not going to mind one bit working on it because it's your passion. It's what you want to do, and you want to share your food, your recipe with people. So you're not going to mind at all going in there and really working to learn everything that you need to learn. So yes, so I posted at the beginning on YouTube, I posted one recipe a week, and that was okay, but it really wasn't enough to drive a lot of traffic to my YouTube channel. What I noticed though was that I would put a video up and it would take a while to gain traction, but then somehow all of a sudden, boop, it would go what would say viral, and a lot of people would watch it. But guess where that came from? Pinterest. So for example, I have a Dominican white rice and beans recipe. It went crazy on Pinterest, and on the website, on the blog, I actually have the video from YouTube embedded in there. So when people are watching it on my blog, they're actually watching it through YouTube. Therefore, that's gaining me views. You see what I'm getting at? So you're also getting people onto your website, and then you're also getting them right there, right on your website, over to YouTube. Therefore, they never leave your website, but they get to see the video. You get the watch time for that. So that's super, super important. So like I said, my white rice and beans is like my number one right now. And of course, the video on how I make my cooking video is also doing super well. And that I don't have on my my blog on my website. What's interesting about that video is that I made that video, now it's going to be about 11 months ago. So almost a year ago, I made that video to like barely any movement, like it just barely moved. And somehow during this time that we're all, staying at home, it went viral and all these people found it and oh my God, this has been so helpful. And I wanted to make that video because I felt that, when you start, nothing. And then there's other people who have these videos that are great and dandy, but then they have all this really expensive equipment. They have just too much, and then you feel overwhelmed and you don't want to do it. So the way that I did it to start was very, very inexpensive and simple, and I think that's probably why people like it, right? So always make sure that you do things that people want to see, not necessarily what you want to see, which is hard because we want to share what we want to share, but just think about your audience and what it is that they want and give them exactly that. Now, when I am shooting my videos for YouTube, something that I learned as I went on, if you look at my videos and how they've kind of grown, is I started adding like a beauty shot, you would call, at the end of the video, and then I also use it to open up the video. So I don't want to put the recipe name in my picture or my intro at the beginning because I want people to get hooked right away. I want them to see that piece of chicken or whatever, or I'm cutting the whatever, or the wing that I'm grabbing from the plate. I want it to be where they see that food and they're like, oh, I want to see that. And then I do the intro and then I start, doing talking hosted style, if that's what I'm going to do, or straight into video, which is what I've been doing a lot more of because my kids are home and it's super hard to shoot myself talking. Like right now I'm in my bedroom shooting so I can get away from the kids. But yes. Therefore, always start with something or an image or something of what the end result's going to be because people really like to see that. And then they're like, well, let me see how she got there. So that's something that I've been incorporating now with all of my videos because, people want to see things like that. Now, when it comes to thumbnails for the YouTube video, you want to make sure you do really, really interesting thumbnails. And one thing that I learned was, let's say I am making a mango, which is like this Dominican, plantain dish. Before I shoot it, I actually go online and I look up pictures of that dish, if there's anyone who's made that dish or, potato casserole dishes, just so that I have an idea, how do I want to shoot that picture so that when I use it for my thumbnail, it captures the person's attention. I also think a lot about, the composition and how it's going to look. So I shoot it from far away, I shoot it up close, and then I make the decision. But for the most part, I bet about 6 examples, even if you go on YouTube and look at other people's recipe for that and see how they shoot it, try to make sure that you shoot it better than that or more enticing than theirs is. And I'm telling you, you're going to notice that people will click on yours before they click theirs. So that's also important. I make all of my thumbnails on Adobe Spark because they have such great templates, and all you do is insert your picture and that's it. And then you pick whatever you want. You don't necessarily have to put the name of your recipe on that because remember, on the thumbnail, because remember it's right at the bottom there. So maybe hook them up, like hook them with some sort of line that's 1 or 2 words that makes them also want to click on that picture when all they're seeing is that thumbnail. So you want to make sure you have a really good thumbnail. Now, if you're going to be using Pinterest, which I really think you should, I want you to make sure that you now take a ton of different angles of that food because Pinterest has decided that now they're going to give a lot of weight to fresh pins. So what that means is that they're going to be, they don't want you to take that same picture and pin it over and over and over again. So different angles of that, a close-up, a side shot, the other side shot, overhead shot, they want to see different things of the same pin, even if it has the same website link, it just has to look different. And for all of my pins, I actually go to Canva. They have amazing templates there, and I don't have to worry about whether it's going to fit on Pinterest because the template is for Pinterest pins, and then you can format it however you want. You can put a video in the as well. Trust me, it's wonderful. Another thing too that with Pinterest they really want now is video. So a lot of them, like what I do actually, is I create one full video for YouTube, right? Then I take that same video without that intro of Belky's Twist. I cut that out. I just put the beauty shot and then straight to recipe, and then I put Belky's Twist at the very end of the video for Pinterest pins. Why? Because I don't want people at all, like they'll play it right there, but I don't want them to keep going because all of a sudden my intro came up. I want to keep it right. Just look at me make the recipe super quick right away. So I have that version that I do. So I call it my pin short video. And then I have my long video, which will go with me hosting style and or just the intro or both on YouTube. It's important to make sure that you engage other bloggers and other YouTubers. And a lot of the people that have watched my video on how I make the cooking videos have been wonderful because they are like, follow me, I'll follow them even if they don't ask me to follow them. If they've commented and found me, I go ahead and I like them, and then I support them. I like their posts. I make sure I go to the Facebook, IG, I like their posts or follow their pages. We have to support each other and learn from each other. That's, to me, the most important thing. Without the people that I have met through this 1.5 years of blogging, I would never be able to do what I'm doing because I got a little bit from everybody. I got help from everybody. So join a Facebook group. There's so many that are wonderful, and you will find so much information that will be super valuable to you for your channel. And of course you got me, even though I'm not an expert. I think I'm doing a good job and I'm proud of what I'm doing. Now, one of the things that I want to tell you, and this is a personal note before I let you guys go, is that I started this blog at, I was 44. I am going to be 46 years old next month, June. And, I never ever felt that I was too old to do something new, to find something that would give me joy, that would make me feel like I'm doing something that I love, and it's not surrounding the world of my autistic child or my children. So the advice that I have for you is, no matter what job you're in, no matter what you're doing, just have faith in yourself. Take time and just really take it all in and do the best that you can at everything. And there's nothing that you can't do. If you put your mind to it, there's nothing that's going to stop you. One day at a time, one day at a time, one day at a time. And one of the things that I actually learned through this whole experience is, whenever something gets really hard, for example, when I was learning how to create my little intro and I was using, I can't remember, I think it was After Effects, Adobe After Effects. This is how I made mine. I didn't know what I was doing, and I would get so frustrated, and then I realized that I would just walk away and maybe not even come back to it that same day. I would come back maybe another day, maybe 2 days later, and then I'd sit down again and I'd go back into it. Sometimes even watching a YouTube video didn't help me. I would still not understand and get things messed up, and how did that happen? How do I did this? So just have a lot of patience with yourself. And like I said, I'm gonna have all the resources that I spoke about. I'm gonna have them all on a post with links to everything, and some things that I did not discuss as well, so that you can go ahead and get started. And I'm gonna put it all in the list of how I did it, and that way you can kind of have, okay, this is how I'm gonna go about it, and then whatever you don't wanna do, you don't have to do, but I do want you to look through this list. So if you have any questions, go ahead in the comments and ask away. I'll try to answer as best as I can. Thank you for watching. Bye.